Well, hello, good afternoon. It's Twyler Jenkins here, founder and CEO of the I Am That Woman movement and retreat, talking about focus today. And that is because I need to focus. So running a little late, something that I very rarely do. But today I am trying to get it all together. So I had forgotten my glasses in the other room and a few other things. So hopefully I didn't, my graphic artist, Craig Barnes, is on vacation. Unfortunately, I don't have what I usually have, a promotional plugger to promote all week long. So I am without Craig this week. So hopefully I posted this long enough and you guys will come on and chat with me. So I was listening to some nice relaxing music while I was working. So I'll turn that off. Hey, Shy, we just got off the phone. So thank you for coming on and thank you for joining. So today I just talked about, I posted about focus, and even earlier on Facebook, I like literally posted a picture and just said, trying to focus. And so as you guys know, I went to Costa Rica a couple of weeks ago. It was for retreat leaders all over the world, from all over the world, like literally, we were from everywhere. And that really allowed me to just get away and just relax and just have a really good time to focus. Because during this pandemic, as you know, many of us have had to refocus. Many of us have had to kind of like pivot our services, pivot, what we're doing, pivot how we're doing our business. I've had a meeting planning business for 20 years, and that came to a screeching halt when we could not, do that anymore. So I too had to refocus my business and to survive. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit about your focus. Like, how are you feeling? Like, we're quote unquote out of the pandemic, right? So although there's this uptick of the Delta variant, but during the summer, like, has it been hard for you to focus? Are you traveling? Are you taking the time to get away? And so I think after going to Costa Rica and just literally shutting everything down, shutting everything off, I encourage you. I love the fact that Europeans take off for an entire month, right? The month of August is not the time to travel because they are on holiday. And I think we all need to do that. I think culturally, and even as in this country, we spend so much time working and so much time doing a little of this and a little of that, that we don't take the time to really take care of ourselves. And that's actually what the I Am That Woman movement and retreat is all about, is helping women to take time to take care of themselves. And so, and to focus on, your own breathing, focus on what you want, focus on where you are, focus on what makes you happy. I was just on the phone with my sister and my niece, and we were talking about that a little bit even before I posted about having today's show. It's like, what, even our young people, what's their focus? What's your focus? Is it hard to focus even at work? Sometimes throughout the course of the day, is it hard to keep your mind like centered and focused on that one thing that will help you to get throughout the day? If you're in a meeting, is it hard to listen and pay attention? And, now that we're in this virtual world, is it hard to just stay focused in that hour-long virtual meeting? So I wanted to talk about focus. I hope you guys will give me some feedback. I wasn't able to even send this out in Messenger, so probably won't have a big gathering today. But in any event, I just wanted to get some feedback on, where you are on as we're coming out of, hey, Ashley Dallas. Oh my God, how are you? So good to see you. She said, yes, that's why I'm on medical leave from American right now. I'm telling you, because we really do need to take the time to just shut it all off, shut it down, and focus on our mental emotional, financial, our health. We just really need to focus on where we are in life. Sometimes we need to take a step back because we can get into this rat race of just, working and just every single day is about, somebody else or taking care of the kids or, taking care of community, taking care of work. What is your focus? Are you really centered on what's making you happy? What's helping you to thrive? Are you doing something every day that you love, even that allows you to easily focus? Or is it a struggle? Is it a struggle to really focus on what are you getting up and spending your time doing every day? So I just wanted to have some conversation around focusing and how you focus. I know one of the biggest things that has helped me in this pandemic, and I kid you guys not, is even though I have to wake up at 5:15 every morning, hit my alarm 3 times, and then at 5:30 to do a guided meditation with the small group, that has helped me to focus. It's helped me to focus on my mental wellness and my emotional wellness. Those meditations, those affirmations, just taking the time to stay centered. And this week, our word was gratitude. So, and maybe that's why it's a little hard for me to get back into focus with work because I am just like really centered on just being grateful and just living life a little bit with a bit more intention. I think that's what Costa Rica did for me. It really made me to take a step back. And while I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years and it's been great, it's a grind. And it sometimes has been completely overwhelming, and especially now during the pandemic. But my focus now is really kind of living life at a different pace and living life doing things a bit more intentionally for me. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It sometimes means that you have to pivot a little bit to that new focus. And so I'm gonna share some feedback from Shy and from Ashley. I love it. So conscious creates your focus, creates reality. Yes. So your consciousness, what are you thinking about? What are you spending time? What's distracting you if you're not focused on, your work, what you have to do, what's taking you away? And then if you really spend some time on what is consuming your thoughts, is it healthy or is it unhealthy? Because we certainly want to make sure that we have good focus really on our positivity and not our negativity, because that focus is that energy that also flows in us. And so if your focus is on everything that's happening bad, oh my God, this pandemic, oh my God, your heart starts racing, you start feeling anxiety. If your focus is on how am I going to get this done, I got more work to do than what I can do, you probably won't get anything done because your mind is all over the place and you're not able to focus on let me knock this out and then let me knock this out and then let me knock this out. So you're not able to kind of focus on that one thing, right? So you got to be careful about your consciousness and what you're thinking about and what you're able to clearly get through step by step. And so, Shy, you're absolutely right that your conscious creates your focus that then creates your reality. So Ashley, thanks for sharing. I hope you don't mind if I share, but you struggle with shutting it down. My mind is always going. Yes, I'm hitting all the points. Good. So yes. So that struggle is from not being able to shut it down because oftentimes, I'm telling you, deep breathing and taking the time just to shut it down. I literally texted a friend earlier this week and I was like, listen, stop what you're doing, take 5 deep breaths. And in that all of 30 seconds, nothing is going to come crumbling down. Right? Nothing is going to, make the sky fall in, as they say, right? And so stopping what you're doing, centering, literally taking 5 inhalations and exhalations. Today, because I needed to focus, I was playing some nice music, relaxing music to calm the mind and reduce stress, relaxation and meditation music. And I also have a candle burning. because I wanted my senses to be engaged to something that helped me to focus. My office is in a little bit of a disarray because I have several projects going on, and I was paying some stuff. So I got, credit cards out, and you know how your office gets kind of messy, right? And so, especially when you're, oh, I got to do this, oh, I got to do this, oh, I got to do this. And so I said, you know what? I stopped my little rat race. I went and got a candle to engage my senses, right? My smell. I turned some music on. I took some deep breaths, and I made a list. And I was like, let me just focus. I posted on Facebook my little picture, and I said, trying to focus. Because even in that moment, that minute of even recognizing that I needed to center, right? Sometimes that is just the one thing that you need to do. Let me stop and let me center and let me focus. And so sometimes, Ashley, just doing that, recognizing where you are and stopping and centering to focus can definitely help you get back to that point of where you need to be. So those are great therapies. I'm glad that you like those, Ashley. And then sometimes, great point, Shy. Sometimes we're not able to focus because of fear. Right. And so, oh, I don't want to put my mind on this. I don't want to, focus on this because I'm afraid of what might come up. I'm afraid of what I might start feeling. I'm afraid of what, I might start thinking about and doing. And so there's nothing worse than avoidance, right? So the first step in all things is awareness. So being aware that I'm like, whew, I need to focus today. Okay, well, what's going to help me focus? So for me, it was just engaging the senses. Let me set the atmosphere. Let me set kind of like the tone in my office. Let me put on some nice music. Let me light a candle. Let me even affirm that I need to focus, right? I need to stop. I need to focus on this project and then this project, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this, right? And so that in and of itself has helped me tremendously to even deciding if I was going to do a Facebook Live today. I'm like, oh, I don't know. There's so much I need to do. I need to do my board. I need to get to this. I need to get to that. Stop, Twyla. Your mind is running way too much. And there's been an hour to pass and you haven't done anything because you're not focused. And so just taking a step back, taking some deep breaths, being intentional about where your focus is and helping you center will definitely get you back on track and will help you to then step out of that fear of what might not be and to institute that faith of the possibilities of anything that will help you to say, you know what? This is driving me crazy. I got a whole lot going on. My boss is coming at me. The kids are calling me. My community needs this, and my nonprofit needs this. And oh, the news is telling me this, and all of this chaos that's going on. That will allow you to stop the madness, to inject the faith that you need, that I can get through this, because with God, all things are possible. And so all you have to do is to stop what's running in here, slow it down, and be intentional about what it is that you're trying to do through faith and not through fear. I am going to get through this. I am going to overcome this. I know that my body says it's not feeling well, but I'm going to change my consciousness. I'm going to change what I'm saying, and I'm going to be in agreement with my healing. So right now, those deep breaths, that candle, that music, whatever brings you into alignment, whatever brings you into center, whatever brings you into your God-centeredness of faith will then allow that fear to dissipate before you know it. So yes, trusting God, Ashley, absolutely. And having faith is so important. Faith over fear every day. Faith over fear. I know, and I know you all know, the power of words, right? And the power of affirmations and the power of speaking something into existence. So one of my favorite sayings that I tell myself every single day is all things work together for my good. all things work together for my good. All things work together for my good. There have been times where just from timing, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have a meeting agenda. And I hate hosting meetings if I don't have a meeting agenda. It drives me crazy because I want to know what we're going to talk about, how long we're going to talk about it, next steps and all of that, right? As a planner. And so there's been times where I'm like working on so many projects and I'm like, this meeting's got to start. And I'm like, all things work together for my good. You know what, Tyler? I may not have a meeting agenda. Schedule didn't go perfect today, but all things work together for my good. I kid you not, me and one other person from the planning team got on the call. And the next thing we know, we were getting text messages and like, oh, I need to reschedule. Tell Twyla I'm so sorry. I can't make this meeting. And I was like, oh, that's okay. It's no problem. We can reschedule for next week. And I was laughing inside because I had already said all things work together for my good. I didn't let my stress level go up. I didn't let my heart start racing because I didn't have the meeting agenda. I literally just said, all things work together for my good. And the meeting got scheduled to the next week. But immediately after that meeting was canceled, I went ahead and did the meeting agenda. So I had time to be prepared. So even words of affirmation can help you to get through whatever it is that's not allowing you to focus. Whatever it is that's not allowing you to be centered and to have heart center and for your chakras to be in alignment with goodness and grace and God's mercy, and most importantly, God's love. Because if you focus on God's love, then you can focus on your self-love. And when you have focus on your self-love, then you can really do anything that it is that you want to do. You can get through that difficult, challenging experience on your job, in your career. There's no lack. There's never any lack. You have a bill that's due and you don't have enough money. All you got to say is all things work together for my good. I know that somehow or another, either I'm going to be able to get on a payment plan, either I know somebody's going to pay it for me. All things work together for my good. It's faith over fear, as Ashley said. It's just knowing and believing that you can do exactly what it is that you want to do through your God-centered focus. So Tyrese says, focus. Let the main thing be the main thing. Yes, exactly. What is the main thing? So sometimes even when you can't seem to get to that main thing, right? Seems like my mind is just everywhere. I'm scattered, right? So I can't even seem to figure out what that main thing is. The many distractions pull our energy to a negative place. Keep doing the main thing. The main thing should be being centered and being God-centered. I got a call from a dear friend today from California. We hadn't talked in a long time, and he just called me out of the blue, and I was really excited because he's had some health challenges. So I'm always excited to hear because I keep him in my prayers. And we were just talking about life and, kind of things that we've been going through and just being centered, right, and God-centered. And that was the encouragement that he even gave me. And I even journaled it, and I thought it was so beautiful because sometimes God will send you that person, that resource to help you to go back to the main thing. And Tyree, that's exactly what Michael and Callie did. Michael helped me go back to the main thing. And he said, delight yourself in the Lord. So that God-centered, he was like, delight yourself and get out of your own way. Be anxious for nothing, right? These are all things that we already know. In prayer and supplication, he will give you the desires of your heart. So just being focused and delighting yourself in the God-centeredness that we have within us will definitely help us stay focused. Being God-loving, God-fearing, keeping our heart towards God, doing God's work. So whatever that main thing is that God has you focused on now, it's not fearing, it's not believing that you aren't able to do it, able to accomplish it. Lord, what's the main thing that you want me to focus on right now? And sometimes that in and of itself is just being God-centered. Sometimes maybe you just do need to spend some time, like I said, turning some music on, do some praise and worship. When you're going through a lot, there's nothing better that will make the enemy mad than when you are still in praise to help you get back to that focus and to that center. That will help you keep the main thing, and that is keeping this right here, this mind and this heart stayed on God's desires and what he has for you. Because the word tells us that it's good and it's not evil. The word tells us that he'll take care of us. If he can take care of the birds and the bees and all of the animals that he created, surely he will take care of those that he loves the most and the best. As the angels even said, who is man, right? That he loves us so much. And so sometimes we get off focus because we get off God. What is ego? What is pride? That is all. I've heard an author say ego means edging God out. So if we keep God as our focused center, keeping our mind stayed on him, Lord, what would you have me to do today? One of my girlfriends actually texted me and said, maybe that's just your mind telling you that you still need more time to just rest. And it's not time to get back into the rat race. Do what you need to do and then take some time for you. Maybe I'm preaching to myself that, hey, okay, let me take care of these things. But sometimes, and as an entrepreneur, it's like, I got to work. And even when I was in Costa Rica, it was like, stop the madness. Stop being so focused on not taking care of yourself and focus on being more intentional about living life and not allowing life to live you, right? I even shared on Facebook that last night I fell asleep. I love that my brother came and gave me an outside space. I love my gazebo. I have a TV out there now and I can just relax. I have, a little fire pit. And so last night I fell asleep because I get up at 5. So I fell asleep and then I woke up not until probably like 11, 12 o'clock, and it was raining. And generally, I probably would have got up and was like, oh my God, it's raining. Let me put stuff away. But in that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm not getting wet. I'm like, let me just like take this in for a minute. Let me just focus on my gratitude. Listen to the rain. I love my sister's video, Tyree, of you videoing Darian and Israel playing in the rain. And I even shared one of those experiences. Sometimes we take life so serious that we don't even take time to dance in the rain. We don't take time to play in the rain. We run from it. We take shelter. Have you ever just let the rain hit you? Whether it was warm or a little cold or a little chilly, how did it feel? So last night, that's what I did. I didn't run from it. I didn't run inside. It was late, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to lay here and I'm going to enjoy what this feels like. The cool breeze, the fire, just being in that moment and making those memories with you. Sometimes you don't even need a crowd. You don't need people. You don't need family. Sometimes just you and God, just having a moment. Have you ever gone out and sat on your deck or sat on your front step and literally listened to the birds? Literally let the sun hit against your skin? Just taking some deep breaths, even in the midst of work and doing a million things, just saying, you know what? If I walk outside for 5 minutes before this next meeting starts in 30 minutes, nothing is going to happen. Everything is going to be okay. Let me go and enjoy the sunshine or the clouds, or let me just pick up a rock and rub it in my hands. Let me take my shoes off and walk in grass. Have you ever just focused on living, just experiencing life in nature? Let me tell you, it is a beautiful thing. When I was in the jungle in Costa Rica, one of the things that I loved the best is being awakened by all of what nature was doing on the outside that I could hear in my room. And I would get up early and I wanted to sleep in, but I was like, oh, I can sleep anytime. Let me go out and let me look at this beautiful view and just look at how massive the trees are and the birds and the ants and I even had a little spider literally in because I'm in the jungle, guys. A spider it wasn't that big. It was, wasn't too bad, in my shower. And I told the spider, I said, listen, I talked to the spider. I said, I understand that you are not at my address. I understand that I am at 2 Jungle Way and this is your house. And I said, as long as you stay over there, I'm going to let you live. And as long as you stay over here and let me have my peace, I'm good. And so just taking nature in and focusing on your best life in the moment. So focus isn't even all about, okay, what do I have to do? What do I have to work on? Where's my career? I mean, it's great. It's great to have direction. It's great to have, that thing that you wake up to do. But I think God has given me the conversation today to talk about focus on being focused on life, like the most genuine, authentic part of just life. Dancing in the rain, feeling the sun, having time with just listening to the birds. How much time have you focused on, again, taking your shoes off and walking in grass, feeling Mother Nature next to your feet, in your skin? How many times have you just laid out and just been like, I'm just going to take in living? I'm literally not going to spend all day, every day, just working and just grinding. And listen, I'm one of the most ambitious people that you can meet. For 20 plus years, I have put my grind in, my work in. I have been at it. But what I've also learned is sometimes you got to take that time. You really got to take that time. Don't let life pass you by, or every single day it's about living for someone else or living to work to pay bills. How much fun is that? Or about living to build that big, huge bank account. Some people have so much money, they'll never spend it all. And what does that mean? Or like working to build that resume. Okay, that's all good. But when's the last time that you really took out time to live? Focused and being intentional about, let me just spend some time with me, or some time doing something that matters to just living life and not existing or allowing life to run us, right? So I want to encourage you today. Yes, I love it, Jewel. Thank you for sharing. I spend 30 minutes at the lake every day. There's nothing like water. I'm telling you. I'm an Aquarian. I'm not big on like signs and things like that. But one thing I do know is I stayed outside last night because there was fire and water. I love fire and water. It does something to my energy. It does something to my chakras. It just makes me like, that's just like my moment. So spending 30 minutes at the lake every day, watching that water, listening to the tide, listening to the waves, listening to, oh my gosh, that is one of the most beautiful, peaceful, God connected times that you can have. And focusing on just hearing and just listening and just taking in what the Spirit of God is telling you to do. Sometimes that gives you that new direction that you need. If you have fear about stepping out on faith and doing something completely different, or doing something or saying something to someone, or Jewel, in your case, even taking that time when a friend isn't doing well and just asking God to heal their bodies and just sending them that good positive energy in that moment where you're allowing yourself to be at one with God. And so I am encouraging you guys to focus your energy on just living life today. Take out some time over the weekend, no matter what your weather conditions may be, is just being in gratitude, and then just taking some time to just do some deep breathing. If you are not apt to just doing some deep breathing every day, and just allowing yourself to just inhale and exhale and just really take, I don't know how else to say it, but to take time out for life, like really literally take time out for life. Take time to focus on your breathing. When's the last time that you heard yourself breathe? When's the last time you put your hand on your heart and literally felt your heart and connected with your heart? When is the last time that you took your shoes off and went and walked in some grass in a park? Like Pretty Woman, my most favorite movie in the whole wide world. And we know that he was a millionaire, and we know that he, had all this money, and even a prostitute had to teach him how to live life a little bit. Take your shoes off and go walk in a park. Go walk in your back, your lawn, your own lawn. You don't even have to go anywhere. If you got a small patch of grass, just walk on that small patch of grass. So I just encourage you to focus on life today and living your best life. And sometimes that is just being God-centered. And that is just being peaceful with who you are and not being worried about everybody else and everything else. How about taking some time to focus over this weekend and just being intentional about living, not existing, but living? And living with the purpose of, I'm going to take care of me. Living with the purpose of, what makes me happy? What makes my heart sing? What makes me want more of this right here of what I have? And it's not in money. It's not in the type of house that you live in. It's not in the type of car that you live in. If you're on public transportation, you can take that one moment, that 1 minute, and even say, God, I thank you that I have the money to get on this bus or this train today. So there's gratitude, and there's insurmountable amount of gratitude that you can have for just breathing and living. I'm going to share a few more things from Kyrie. Speaking of focusing in on your breathing, I purchased a spermometer today. So I'm not even sure if I know what a spermometer is. So you'll have to tell me about that. What is a spermometer? Is that something that tracks your breathing, or is that like a Fitbit? Or I don't know if I know what a spermometer is. So you have to tell us what that is. That's very nice. So focusing on breathing is really, really good. Again, that's helped me every morning. Doing those deep breathing exercises, doing our neck and shoulder exercises. I used to be so tight in my neck and shoulders from sitting in this chair all day long, even though it's an ergonomical chair and all of that. But oh my gosh, my neck and shoulders used to be so tight all the time. I was constantly, even in meetings, sometimes just trying to get comfortable. And now that I do it during meditation every morning, I don't have all that stress. I don't have all that tension. I don't have all of that pressure that used to be in here. So that deep breathing and exercising and paying attention and focusing on my body does help. And yes, Shy, nothing like being in the moment of gratitude. I mean, it brings you so much peace. I just feel like since I've been back from Costa Rica, I have so much more peace. And I'm able to really not even feel guilty about, I could have got a lot more work done today. It's 5 o'clock. But I used to feel so guilty about taking time out for myself. I used to feel so guilty about going back to sleep because the earlier I get started, the more I get done. And that's good. I'm not telling you not to do that. But I am saying, are you taking time for you? And are you taking time to focus on your life and what matters? So being in that moment of gratitude definitely helps. So a spermometer, it builds your lungs to take in more air. Oh, okay. It monitors how much air you're taking in. So one of the things that, and I'm not going to do a long show today, but one of the things that's really good, Tyree, and thanks for sharing, because one of the things that we can do without even knowing that we're doing it sometimes is not breathing properly, right? So even when we're working and we're doing spreadsheets and proposals and budgets and, this meeting after this meeting and, everything that's on your calendar and all the things that you have to do. And it's just, it's one thing after another. Sometimes we don't even notice that we're not breathing properly. You're literally cutting off oxygen to your brain. You're really making your heart work faster, right? And that's what just being reactive and even trying to be proactive with everything that's going on, that's what it can do to our bodies. We're just our minds, our brain energy is all over the place, and the next thing we know, we're seeing a doctor because we're not feeling well. And the next thing we know, we're on some drugs because the doctor says, well, this will help alter some of your brain energy and, chemistry and all that kind of stuff. And the next thing we know, we're still having a heart attack, stroke, cancer, all these other types of ailments. And it's all because we're not focusing on our health and we're not focusing on our breathing. So congrats to you, Tyree, for even investing in something that will help you to monitor how you're breathing and if you're breathing adequately. Because a lot of times when we're in a meeting or something, we're holding our breath, trying not to say anything, trying to keep it on the inside, trying to keep all those emotions. I'm going to avoid this argument. I'm not going to say anything. And what are you doing to yourself? What are you doing to your body? What are you doing to your mind? What are you doing to your heart? Right? So none of that is healthy. So we really do have to. So you guys, if you need a thermometer, that might help to even monitor your breathing after a meeting, before a meeting, how your heart is racing, so whether you're wearing a smartwatch that helps to monitor those things, your stress level. I started monitoring my stress level. Those are all things that you need to spend some time focusing on. I encourage you to say focus. So that is great. It was only $6 on Amazon. So Tyree had said that mom had told her, because my mother's having like shortness of breath, $6. So I'm going to invest in one. I think that's great. So a spirometer, SPIROMETER, to monitor your breathing. I think that's great. So I hope these few minutes of just talking about focusing and how you can focus and what we should be focusing on, right? So it's not just that we need to focus, but what are you focusing on? And how much time do you take out through the course of your day to focus on your mental and emotional health, right? So you can have work going on and you got to focus on work. And let me tell you, I have a laundry list. I keep a journal of all the things that I have to do, right? So every day I'm writing down, what I have to do and, all that good stuff. That's great. That's great focus. Let me send this contract over. Let me send this proposal over. Let me send this meeting agenda. That's great to focus on work. But how much time are we taking to focus on our mental and emotional health? How much time are we taking out every day? Not sometimes. We need to be intentional about it every day, about living and not allowing life to live us or just to exist, right? So I encourage you this weekend to take some time out and focus on your wellness. So promise me that you will go walk in some grass. Promise me that you will put on some music and light a candle, take a deep bath, get some bath bombs and, soak in the tub. Take some time out to read a book. I have a laundry list of books behind me that I purchased when I was traveling to Greensboro, North Carolina. I went to the International Civil Rights Museum. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take some time out and take my books and go outside. And whether it's raining because the gazebo keeps me protected, or, whether it's the sun is shining, I'm going to really try and be intentional about my mental and emotional well-being. And I hope this weekend you will too. So take some deep breaths. We can do that now together. Just close your eyes. Focus. Affirm whatever it is your positive affirmation. For me, mine is all things work together for my good. Everything always works out for me. Take a deep breath in. Breath. Exhale. Do that about 5 times. You will feel so much better. And not only have you taken a minute to focus on your mental and emotional well-being, you will also have that energy and that mind reset to focus on whatever you are doing for work or for home or with your kids or with your spouse or getting ready for the weekend. So I hope that this has truly been helpful for you to take some time to be mindful about focusing on your health and your well-being. So, want to say hi to everyone. Hey, Henri, Chillers, how are you? And thank you for joining. And thank you for sharing, Tyree and Shy and Jewel and Ashley Dallas. I miss you so much. I hope to see you soon. And anyone else who dropped in. Again, I didn't even market this today, but my focus today was just, hey, let me just get on real quick and do a quick little 30 minutes or so talking about focus, but not your normal focus. That focus on your well-being, your best health. So as the little image that I posted says, follow one course until successful. Do you know that's what focus can mean? Follow one course until successful. I encourage you to make that one course about your health and your wealth and your well-being. So that one course about just taking time for you. All right. I pray that this has been a blessing to you today, something that you needed to hear and be reminded to do, and that is to take care of you. That's what the I Am That Woman movement and retreat is all about, helping you to live your best life, mind, body, and spirit. High achieving African American women who just really need to take that time to breathe, take that time to just reset and refocus on your wellness. Join us on Monday morning. We have meditation and prayer. 5:30 a.m. is meditation, 30 minutes of a guided meditation. It will change your life. I just encourage you to do it. I'm a witness. And then 30 minutes of prayer. And we spend time talking about what we're grateful for because God has been so good to each and every last one of us. And so I hope that you will join us. It's on our Facebook. It's on all of our social media. I show it every single week, but I don't want to be, I should have actually showed the image, but I don't want to be remiss in making sure that you know the importance of prayer and meditation. You definitely want to make sure that you're taking the time out to focus on being connected to God. And so I will show the image. Most of you know this, but just in case, you never know. So prayer call, meditations at 5:30. Prayer is led by me and Dr. Portia Lockett. It's just a conference call. 605-313-5104. And the access code is 345235. Again, that number is 605-313-5104. And the access code is 345235. Just great reminders. Thank you, Tyree. Just a reminder for you guys to just stay focused on your mental and emotional wellness and health. Monday morning, if you need something to help you focus all throughout the week, join us and you can do that. All right. Good night. God bless. Have a blessed weekend. Walk in grass this weekend. Go to the park and take a walk. Take your shoes off. Be barefoot and walk in grass. Be connected to your gratitude. Bye-bye.